Good morning, and a warm welcome to Get Dalgety Facebook Live Reflections on this Tuesday. I hope you're very, very well. I'm kind of out of the parish this morning and down or up in Blair Adam Forest, and I've come for a wander, and I daren't move from where I am in case I lose reception. But isn't it lovely? Such a lovely place to be today. Been sitting here for a while and I've been listening to the bird song. Wonder if you can hear it. Or perhaps the rushing water down in the stream, which is just over the hill. I've only seen one or two other people and it feels like I have the forest to myself. And the snow is starting to melt. My drive here over the hill this morning was a little bit wintry. But there is a thaw on the way and perhaps some light relief after all that rain of yesterday. But here I am sitting in a forest and I'm wondering about the roots on these trees, wondering about how long those trees have been there for, wondering if the trees could speak, what would they tell us? Who would they have seen walk underneath them? What stories would they have? I wonder what kind of different animals venture in this forest at all types of day and night. Something to think about, isn't it? And there was some blue sky here when I was sitting here not that long ago. Seems that the clouds are starting to move in. And it is just glorious and so very, very peaceful today. Reminded about that scene from Narnia. Wonder if you know that scene. The scene after, just at the end, when the frost and the thickness of the forest is starting to thaw and life is starting to return after a frozen time. That film is about love and hope. It's about a promise of something good that comes. I think that's what spring is for me about. It's a promise of something that is to come. We're not quite in spring yet, or that's not how it feels. It feels that we're quite still in a bit of a wintry stage. But certainly spring is just around the corner. God's creation is fabulous, wondrous, amazing. It's full of joy, it's full of hope and promise and wonder. And that's what God wanted us to see. And God made creation in whatever way you think of that creation. It was to be good, and God was pleased. And roots of that creation run deep, and they run deep perhaps within us all, whether or not perhaps we have a deep faith, or whether we doubt or not, there are roots there, and it's all about how we develop those roots. These trees will have been here, perhaps some of them for many, many, many years. I'm not going to guess how long. And their roots will run deep because their roots need to support them, to give nourishment. They might not be straight roots, and I imagine they wander and they turn. I imagine they've got wee branches of the roots that we can't see underground, but they're secure and they're founded. As if they weren't, that tree wouldn't be so tall. If those roots wavered in any way, that tree simply wouldn't be there. But there's many of those roots underground. It's not just relying on one single root to support these trees. There's many, many, many roots. And that makes me think about faith and faith communities and people we share things with. In October we had a walk here. Dalgety Church had a walk here with some folk from that church, and we wandered through the forest. In that time we shared stories and experiences. We shared sweeties and we laughed. We watched young people chat with older folk, and we absolutely shared. What that told us is that the older folk had an interest in the younger folk. Of course we knew, but the younger folk perhaps needed to see that. And we're intrigued to ask questions of those folk that were there. Dogs played in rivers, and we had a lovely, lovely walk. We developed roots in each other. That one wee strand of roots perhaps will go on and do something else. But something was given that day that can't be replicated in any way whatsoever. Of course, walks can happen, but the folk on that walk that day perhaps can't meet again. And the conversations, of course, would be different, and the experiences would also be a different one. But the roots were important because the roots were planted and developed that day, and it's just glorious. So have a walk in nature today or this week. Look out your window, sit in your garden, wrap up warm. I've wrapped up warm this morning. I've taken a coffee with me. And I don't know really what to leave. I think I might stay here for a little bit longer. It is just lovely. I just move round again and you can see more of the forest and the path. So remember that roots run deep. There are many, many, many roots that are needed, and that we each perhaps can support each other in that. And that God's creation is good and wondrous and magnificent. And that's what God wants us to notice and wonder and feel that joy today. So whatever you're up to today, just perhaps look out your window, sit in your garden, maybe just pause and wonder about something. Wonder about what all these trees would have seen in their lifetime. Wonder about the roots that run very, very deep. And give thanks to God. I hope you have a fantastic day, whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to head out to the church, I promise, soon. And we're going to do story time on today for under fives. If you're around and you're seeing this, you're very welcome. Or Cafe Connect is on if you're seeing this and there's time to pop to the church for a coffee. Again, all are welcome. And then Bible study later on. But enjoy your day, enjoy your week. I'm going to sit here for a little bit longer and listen to the bird song. And the peace of the forest. I wish you peace this day. Bye for now.